Last week, new Red Dead Online properties were discovered in the game files, hinting at different ranches, mansions, and other dwellings for our characters to occupy, and they are coming in a new Red Dead Online update. But what's interesting is we had property leaks in the past and even confirmation from Rockstar exclusively about future properties coming into the game as well. And what we're going to be talking about today is the new leak, which gets very specific and names these property locations, and we're going to go over all the prices of these properties as well. But big disclaimer here though, they're all in gold bars. So if you enjoy this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. That doesn't cost gold bars. And if you want to stay up to date with everything Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, consider hitting that subscribe button. So starting off, all credit for these findings go to two Smokin barrels. He's the guy who also leaked the legendary animals coming into the game and new dynamic events being added to Red Dead Online back as early as April. And of course, none of us thought the update was going to come out at the end of July, but either way, we did receive these new dynamic events in the free roam, and of course, this whole Naturalist update is based around legendary animals and either skinning them or sampling them to rank up the role. Now you can find his link below, but let's break down what he has found here in the game files. There are a total of 8 unique properties in Red Dead Online that players will potentially be able to purchase, barring any last minute changes, tweaks, or additions, or even removals. And again, like I said, all of these prices are in gold bars, so definitely start saving up as we get closer to the winter Red Dead Online update. So starting off on the low end, we have the McFarlane Ranch deed for 45 gold bars. Then we have the Butcher Creek Shack deed for 50 gold bars, the Strawberry Hotel Room deed for 60 gold bars, the Silent Stead deed for 80 gold bars, the Crop Farm deed for 100 gold bars, and then the Rustic Crop Farm deed for 100 gold bars as well. Two different styles for this one. And then we have the Lodge Farm deed for 125 gold bars. Now, finally, we wrap up with the big one, and we're going to get into why I don't think anyone should really take this number seriously, because it's such an outlier here and honestly doesn't really make sense, but it is the Saint Denis Mansion deed for 600 gold bars. So those are the 8 properties that are potentially coming to Red Dead Online in a new update, and over the past week or so, that's been a big thing that players can potentially look forward to as we move on through the Naturalist update drip feed cycle. But let's talk about these properties and the truth behind them, because there's something that's not necessarily being explained fully here. I surely don't want to get anyone's hopes up or even crush anyone's excitement, but I'm just trying to give all the information that's out there from all the credible sources, so let's dive in. TezFun2, a Rockstar Games insider and enthusiast who is also one of the most credible people in the community when they have information for both GTA Online or Red Dead Online, has said that these property names and values have been in the file since release actually, and specifically they were data mined from Bob from the Gene Rocky collectible map team. Now these files date all the way back to 2018, and of course a lot of things can change in 2 years, most likely just how Rockstar bulldozed their plans for online to fit in the roles into their development pipelines, and these properties were most likely changed and modified, possibly with huge price reductions, because the roles so far only cost up to 25 gold bars, and a 600 gold bar or almost $200 microtransaction purchase for an albeit a pretty luxurious house in Saint Denis would still be absolutely absurd. But Tez said the following in regards to these properties. These property deeds were found by Bob from the collectible map team, but it turns out they were old findings that possibly date back to day one. So it's not new or anything that suggests it's coming in the next update. It's just another feature on paper that was planned all the way back to 2018. Keep in mind, the game went through a couple of stages that resulted in drastic changes to their plans, starting with an approach to adapt roles, and nowadays with the virus that delayed pretty much everything. In other words, don't take the prices and locations for granted, as they're more of placeholders. Who knows if the Saint Denis Mansion mentioned becomes part of the heist than an actual property. Now, this is of course true. I still have the original file on my computer of the first ever property leak for Red Dead Online that myself and many other people reported on. It doesn't differ from this in terms of the specifics of property prices though. The original file found by Ben Walker from Rockstar Intel shows 10 properties coming to Red Dead Online, all with a placeholder of 1,000 Red Dead Online dollars, so a lot cheaper. And of course, those are placeholders as well, but there's some discrepancy on what exact files Tez was talking about here. Anyways, that was the original file, which suggests 2 more properties at different prices, but the good news here is that properties are still coming in some fashion. Even if the locations slightly differ from what the leaks say and what the prices tell us about how many gold bars players will need to save up to attain a property and land deeds. Now, Rockstar is quoted as late as February with an interview with Polygon about Red Dead Online Moonshiners update and where they would like to take the game next. These aren't leaks, but an actual back and forth interview response between Rockstar Games creative directors and the Polygon gaming news outlet. In reference to the Moonshiners update and Moonshine Shack, Katie Pika says that Rockstar wanted to introduce properties to tie in with the update somehow, and the Moonshine Shack was the perfect avenue for that. We knew the community was keen to own a property, so we wanted to give them their first taste of that, said Katie Pika, lead online production associate at Rockstar, in an interview with Polygon. A bar seemed like something we could have a lot of fun with and fit perfectly with the Moonshiner business vibe. We wanted to replicate aspects of the saloon gameplay from single player while adding new interactive features specifically for the online. What Tarek Hamad, associate online producer at Rockstar, also had to say about the future Red Dead Online updates and even properties is quite interesting as well too, so let's talk about that. Property owners have more to look forward to as well. Some of the roles would let us introduce feature-rich businesses and even communal spaces that player can gather and meet up socially at, lone wolves, and full posses, said Tarek Hamad, maybe even let each player own part of such a space. As you can see from that, there is a lot of discussion about properties in general, and that's a great sign. We already have the Moonshine Shack, of course, but us Red Dead Online players want a real space that we can buy, own, manage, upkeep, do activities at, and maybe even start some missions there, and really get immersed in the Western world Rockstar built for us, but of course just not live in the woods with ugly and stinky crypts for the rest of eternity. I wanted to present some of the information besides just the properties leak because I think there's definitely more to this story, and just judging by the prices in this game currently, yes, they're increasing DLC by DLC, and they are getting more expensive for the most part for lots of players, but nothing should cost 600 gold bars, even a Saint-Denis mansion where you could perform heists from. The player base freaks out at an overpriced 25 gold bar roll according to them, so no way is that mansion dropping with that price tag. Maybe 60 to 100 gold for the mansion if Rockstar is going to get insanely greedy, and 10 for the one at McFarlane Ranch, but 600 gold bars just feels totally out of the question in my opinion. But of course, come up with your own speculation and opinions yourself, and let's discuss it in the comments. No telling on when this property update is releasing, but with Rockstar's confirmation in their July 24th newswire stating with a new Red Dead Online update coming later this year, it's bringing some exciting new extensions and augmentations to an existing role in Red Dead Online. This could be the update where none, some, or even all of these properties make their way into the game and tie in with one of the changes coming to an existing role. If I were a guessing man here, considering how the Naturalist you see the good and the bad sides of hunting with Harriet and Gus McMillan, maybe the new changes to a role is going to be about the bounty hunter role, and there is a lawman and an outlaw dynamic to it, which could possibly include free roam or mission heists. That would honestly be insane and so awesome for this game, but that is where we're going to wrap up the video here today. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Red Dead Online, Red Dead Redemption 2, and even Rockstar games as a whole. We'll be sure to keep you guys up to date with updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube. I practically live on all three of those websites, and you can feel free to strike up a conversation or even ask me a question. Whatever it may be though, you can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links, including my Discord, can be found in the description down below. With that said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.